Hi everyone, Shavua Tov and Varach, wishing you all a fantastic week ahead. And tonight, many people across the world, we all know, are going to be celebrating what is called, naturally, we all know, New Year's Eve. It's going to be 2023 as midnight is going to be struck wherever we are in the world, whether we're in Times Square, whether we are going to be here in Israel like I am, or we are going to be next to the Big Ben in America or in England, wherever we might be. It's going to be New Year's Eve. So what's the big deal? Should we be excited? Should we be partying tonight? You know, people are going to be doing these raves, parties. I remember from 15, 20 years ago, many years ago, when I was in university or pre-university, there was a whole hype about New Year's Eve, you know, to get drunk, get smashed off the face or whatever it might be. But what is the Jewish point of view of this? First of all, let's get some background within regards to the day. The day in many other countries is called the Sylvester Day, which many of the historians out there will know. Was he so kind to the Jewish people? All you guys need to do is just look online and search about him. And so many terrible accusations of anti-Semitism could have been leveled against him, as we can see. And I don't know if people will read about what they read on the internet. You're going to be researching about Sylvester. Will any Jewish person still be celebrating the day? Will any person reasonable necessarily be celebrating this day as much as enthusiasm as they might be doing tonight across the world? So what is it? Naturally it's in the Gregorian calendar. It's a new year. By the way, also, unlike the Jewish New Year, which always falls on Rosh Hashanah, this New Year's of this specific calendar used to be even in March, thousands of years ago. So it's not like it's been, it's a fixed date, this 31st of December is. And also another thing about this Sylvester, that was the day of his passing, I believe. It could be that it was also the day when he was born, but it was the day of his passing, is Hilula. And this is a man that so many accusations of anti-Semitism can be charged upon the person. You know, the question could be, how can we actually celebrate, this specific day? But people could talk about Derech Eretz, it could be the argument, saying we live in a country, we live in England, we live in America, we live in Canada, we live in France, this is a New Year's, this is a date it is, it's a Derech Eretz to be polite. So there's one thing being polite and celebrating and have courtesy to other people, wishing everyone a happy new year. But then people going partying in Times Square, partying by Big Ben, getting drunk off their face, just meeting any person in the street or God knows what they're doing, cuddling any person in the street or doing any of these kind of things. These are certainly not Jewish concepts whatsoever, especially on Motzei Shabbat Kodesh, after we've exited the Shabbat. We all know Motzei Shabbat is a powerful time. We learn in Masechet Gemara, in Masechet Shabbat, in Daf Kuf Yutet, the greatness of Motzei Shabbat. It's a time period where our Neshama Yetera, extra soul, is coming outside, and we are departing. There's a Melava Malka, the Suda Revit we eat. They say, the Gemara in the Masechet Shabbat actually speaks about what we should be doing on the Motzei Shabbat. We should be having something hot, something to drink, some hot drink, hot food, to celebrate the Shabbat coming out and everything else. And they actually interestingly say, which many of people might not popularly known, that on Motzei Shabbat, anything you eat and everything else, that is going to be nourish a person when the people are going to be resurrected at the time when Moshiach come, after people pass away. That's a power of a Motzei Shabbat. So should we be celebrating? Let's compare this New Year of the worldly New Year, let's just call it, compared to the Jewish New Year. Let's talk about the worldly New Year. People might be celebrating it's New Year, New Year's resolutions. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to do whatever it might be. We're going to get drunk. We're going to, whatever it might be, party and everything else. It's a New Year's, whatever it is. But look at the Jewish New Year, how much meaning it's got when it comes to Rosh Hashanah. It's a day of awe. It's a day of judgment. We take the day, we do it in retrospection of how we can improve for the next year. All the different the tefillot, the great tefillot where we come closer to Hashem, we grasp upon ourselves on the Rosh Hashanah itself. We challenge ourselves to become better. Especially that's why there's Aseret Yimei Teshuvah between the Jewish New Year to the Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, where every day we take something extra on, where we have those 10 days of Teshuvah during this period. However, in the non-Jewish year, it's just a party. Everything is balloons. It's a fireworks. It's star-studded, whatever it might be. But is this the right thing? As Jewish people celebrating, especially that it's there's so many accusations of anti-Semitism charged upon the person who the day is named after. One could argue all these things. And the Jewish New Year, as we said before, it's a time where we're with our families. We are trying to soak up the goodness that can come up for the new year. Where we have the shofrot, the malchiot and zichronot, we incorporate in our tefillot on this awesome day. It is in the Jewish calendar. However, in this specific calendar, a lot of it is partying, it's clubbing, it is getting drunk, it's all the other things that might not necessarily have the greatest potency to it. For sure, if it's a New Year's where we take upon ourselves, new resolutions and we keep to it. People will say they want to lose weight. People want to be less lazy during the next year that is coming ahead. People want to treat people better. Then it's a welcome thing. However, it's not a religious festival. It's not an excuse to then go out to partying and doing all the other things. So that's one thing we've got to take in retrospection within regards to the New Year's of the Jewish calendar, Rosh Hashanah, the first of Tishrei, and the Gregorian calendar, which is today. Another extra thing to point out, it's related in the Masechet Rosh Hashanah that the new year of the Jewish calendar, naturally the first of Tishrei, is the day of the creation of the world, according to a strong opinion over here. And over here in the non-Jewish calendar, let's just say, no one's advocating that this was a day that the world was created or anything like that. It's a day that has evolved and has changed within the centuries also. And guys, today it's Motzei Shabbat. We shouldn't be out, in my opinion, partying, clubbing, whatever it might be. We should be taking retrospection. We should review, maybe look at the history, what's happened to Jewish people. We should come out Shabbat trying to learn some Torah. Trying to be with our families, trying to embrace and get ready for a new day tomorrow, and not wake up hangover and recovering from the previous night before, like many people, unfortunately, also Jewish people, unfortunately, will be doing tomorrow morning. It's a day where, especially in Israel, we should be contemplating, a good year ahead, how we can improve with our midot and everything else, and take New Year's resolutions properly, and not looking at it as a religious festival. Guys, I want to wish you all an awesome week. Shavua Tov, and be blessed. Good night.